English language teaching. Under the covers.
Hello and welcome back to ELT Under the Covers, ELT React, where we look at teaching videos on the internet and we give our thoughts, our opinions on the good and the bad of those teaching that we see in the videos. Today we are looking at a classroom example of Suggestopedia with kids. I'm Neil of Team Teacher.
Hello everybody, it's Professor Leach. Hi everybody, today we're doing a bit of serious analysis of Suggestopedia. We've been doing a bit of a Suggestopedic series on Suggestopedia, haven't we? We've analysed a lot of Suggestopedia stuff. And now we're going to see it with kids. I wonder if they still use the Barack music. Barack? The Barack Obama music? The Barack. Yeah.
Brock Lesnar. The
Somewhere
alpha male of our
Brock
species.
Lesnar. Do they still have the sofas, the plants, the Barack? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to find out.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they do Suggestopedia, especially with kids as well, because it's kind of it's a very soft. I feel like teaching method that's kind of that it's in a way kind of passive when it begins with the deciphering phase, right, where they're just kind of like listening and watching. So with kids, I kind of feel like they tend to move around a little bit more. So I want to see how that's going to factor into the whole methodology.
Relax, relax, relax.
Oh, he's literally walking around saying relax. Oh, he's integrating breathing. He's got the music.
In the morning, I wake up.
Okay, wait a moment. Right. So first of all, there's some interesting idea going on there, isn't there? Which was okay, and now relax and breathe in. There was something going on there.
No,
I think could be interesting.
Yeah, but I feel like they kind of should have been a little bit more.
Yeah, the way that he did it was bloody awful. It was just like, relax, okay, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, story time. And I wonder if this is a kind of thing that like his mates got the camera out and suddenly were panicking, because surely the way, like the idea of like doing some breathing exercises is a good idea. But with kids, even if it's an established routine, you've got to give it more attention than that, because I don't know if any of those kids actually did that.
They
I
don't
think they
seem
just,
particularly
I think they
relaxed.
I think they just looked at him while he did it. So unfortunate, but okay.
He needed a little bit more breathing space.
He needed what he needed is to get their attention, to get silence, to get them following him in some way, right? Everybody stand up, do a big breath in.
And melt into your chair.
Get them to visualize it. So like as you breathe in, you lift your arms up. And then as you breathe out, arms come down, and get them all doing it. Do 5 of them. So they're all doing it and they're all making the noises, breathing in and breathing out. And then do what you said and get them to sink into their chair and then carry it on maybe with a few more arm movements.
Yeah.
Okay, now we've established something.
Yeah, and that gets them up, gets them moving around a little bit, and also brings their energy down as well. Because I kind of feel one of the things that missed it out with the Suggestopedia as well is it doesn't match the energy. So to begin with, it's cool if everyone's already kind of calm and relaxed, but like with kids, it would be good to do those sort of exercises where you kind of bring everyone at that level of where maybe they're crazy and moving around, but then it's kind of slower movements to then sitting down and breathing. Yeah, no, it's an excellent suggestion. And I think that's definitely something that he could have used with that, and also they kind of they can appreciate the music a little bit more as well.
Is the music even going on?
Yeah, he's got the music. I hear the music. He's
Has he?
quite low though.
Yeah, the
And
sound quality is a bit dodgy, isn't it?
now he's just jumping into that narration, and
Right.
he's acting it out. And he is actually acting out. It does look like he's doing like a whole morning routine thing. So, props to him for acting it out. Maybe have a little bit more realia, but we'll see. He might have got some toothbrush in his back pocket that he brings out. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right. Yeah.
I wash my face.
Okay.
I brush my
You're right.
I have a shower.
The kid walks in. He's like, "What the hell's going on?"
That's exactly what
I
I think is happening.
have breakfast.
Kid. I just focused on the kid.
I go to school. I go to school. Listen again.
He's not using Baroque music though. It sounds like he's doing some hotel lobby piano music or something, like soft jazz.
In the morning, I wake up. I wash my face. I brush my teeth. I have a shower. I have my breakfast. I go to school. Stand up, please. Stand up, please. Act with me. Act with me. In the morning, I wake up. I wash my face. I brush my teeth. I have a shower. I have my breakfast. I go to school. Thank you. Down. Down. Look at the board. Look at the board. You can sit down here. Down. 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 Repeat after me. Wake up. Wash my face.
Why would you
Brush my teeth.
really done this? I
Have a
don't get
shower.
why you would go over it again without the
Breakfast.
Yeah, it's a bit peculiar. I don't remember her doing that
No.
when we watched the 70s one or the 80s video or whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that.
Go to school. Okay, thank you.
Also, the language being used is very synthetic, but then I think that it was also presented quite synthetically in the video that we watched, the previous one.
Well,
I don't think that the language model was particularly great in that one either, was it?
yeah, no, she did it very slowly, quite synthetically, and there was stress on certain, because she's trying to do the actions as well as reading, so I kind of feel like it's almost inherent with this sort of method, because it's hard to kind of be like trying to narrate what you're doing. You can narrate what you're doing is difficult, but she's not just narrating what she's doing, she's narrating a story and then trying to act out what what's happening in the story, while also, yeah, I can see how that would be quite difficult to be natural because it's very unnatural anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a minute. No. Just a minute.
So all we're seeing so far is a bit of music being played. He's done some actions and he's thrown some vocab out there.
Wash.
My face.
Brush.
My feet.
Wake.
Okay, that I actually like. There's a little bit of something good going on there.
Wash.
My
Face.
face.
As I said, I've used the ball before, and I think probably the way he's using it now is probably the limitation of it, the full limitation of it. If you get them throwing it to each other, it quickly goes downhill.
Wash.
My face.
Unless you have them well trained, I guess.
Go to school. Go to. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I need all of you to teach each other, okay? Teach each other. Look at each other. Look at each other. Look at each other. Look at each other.
I like how he's pairing them.
Please. Look at him, please. Look at him. Look at him. No, right. Look here, please. Here. Here. Look here, please. Look at him. As you look at him, keep quiet, please. Relax. Relax. Look at him. Look at him. Yalla.
Neil, just relax.
Relax,
Neil.
relax,
Relax.
relax.
Yeah, yeah.
Still.
In the morning,
Do you know that? Oh, God!
wash my face.
My
I brush my teeth. I have a shower.
Okay, I don't know about this. Is this really doing anything here? So, we've got
So
our
this
core-
is. I actually don't mind this. I think if he'd have done this, well, actually no, it doesn't make any sense because they already did this as a whole class, right? So now they're just doing it together, facing each other. I suppose you could do it, but you know.
It's a choral drill where they're facing each other.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
I could understand almost anything else. I mean, another choral drill probably wouldn't be that useful because he's already done one the second time. Very specifically, he did the choral drill without the actions.
Yeah, which I found was strange.
Right. And then I could understand doing almost anything else with them in pairs. Like they just have to do what they can remember or whatever. You know, there's plenty of things they could do now. And it was kind of, you're right, it was kind of nice because I don't seem to remember in the previous Suggestopedia thing that we watched, I don't remember that there was any paired activity. So it was interesting to go, oh, here we go.
Yeah, no, there was. I mean, the whole point was you do the deciphering phase where he produces it, and then after you put them all in pairs, and they have to reenact it. It's just what they're doing right now is they're doing the choral drill of this, when really it should be one kid saying "wake up, I wake up," and the other kid acting it out.
Yeah, exactly. That's it, isn't it? Yeah, that was what she did. That was probably the best activity that she did, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, and then they swapped over.
So that, yeah. Okay, so let's see. Will he actually go on to that?
Yeah, we'll see.
I have my breakfast. I go to school. Okay, thank you. Come here. Look at the work. Look at the work. Sit down, please. Sit down. I need a volunteer to come here. Let's start. If you can come. Down here. Sit down. Please, Muhammad. Sit down there. Sit down here. Please. All of us will tell Rajid and Rajid will act. Okay? All of us will tell Rajid and Rajid will act. Yeah, all of In the morning. I wake up. I wash my face. I brush my teeth. I have a shower. I have my breakfast. I go to school. Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you. Thank you for you all, and see you.
I feel like with that class, it was so controlled, and what I always wanted with the Suggestopedia is to see how it would be going into the freer practice, more production, to use PPP terms, way of giving the reins over to the students more. For me, I think one of the issues with that class was it was apart from it being controlled, the activities were just it was the ordering and stuff was completely out. He should have started more time breathing, relaxing, getting chill, do the narrate. I actually liked his to say what he had. He didn't have his whole, an elaborate bedroom setup, but I think he really conveyed with his acting out the story. He had realia, which was great. And maybe the language level of the kids wasn't so high, so he kept the sentences short. Okay, that's fine. It should be as a text, that would be better, but okay, we'll just have it like that. You work with what you've got. And I thought that was fine. And then he had those drills. Then he should have had those drills where they're acting it out and then saying it and then put them together and then do a quick demo of this is what I want you to do, and then have them in pairs doing, as we said, one person. You could even do it this way. You could have one person reading out the text and the other person acting it out and then swapping it over, and then okay, this time put down your pieces of paper, put down your books, and then you have to say what you remember and do that swap again. And then from there, see if you can come up with some sort of a game or another role play. Pass it over to the students and be like, okay, so now I want you to do your own. How do you wake up? You wake up and then what do you do? Do you go to school and then you brush your teeth, or I don't know, or maybe add their own suggestions, come up with their own variation of their morning, and see what they come up with, and then go around and check on them in pairs. And if you want to do things where you want to end the class with trying to bring it all back together, choose a pair that's done a little role play that you like and have them perform it in front of everyone or something. I don't know,
Yeah, they were all decent ideas. Definitely, that's what should have happened. And what's kind of ironic and funny about this, Neil, is you've never taught Suggestopedia. I've never taught Suggestopedia. You've just read the theory on it, but you know exactly how to do it, and you're just saying like, this is what comes next according to the theory, right? But then when we watch these videos, strangely enough, they either seem to do it out of order, or, well, in this case, it just wasn't there at all, was it? And I really think that the punchline would be the important part of this, because all of this stuff, this very controlled practice, it's not indicating to us whether they've actually got it.
Exactly.
Because you're not going to see that until you've got them in pairs working together and doing stuff. And that's when you'll see like, oh, look, those kids over there are just picking their nose. They've got no clue what's going on. Yeah. Right. I mean, it's a thing about choral drills, isn't it? It's one of the major downsides to a choral drill is that it doesn't actually help you check anything, because everyone can kind of mumble along to a choral drill and seem like they know what's going on. He did the ball thing. Okay, fair enough. It's kind of putting them on the spot quite a lot, that one, though. And there was one kid who didn't know it, and he basically just prompted him, didn't he? He just said school, and then the kid said school or whatever. So, that was a bit half-hearted. But then we really needed that, don't we? We needed that pair work or that we need to be moving towards that kind of student autonomy where they're relying less on the rest of the group and the teacher, and the teacher's able to go around and monitor them. We didn't see it.
No, and it's one thing that we often don't see as well. And like you mentioned, it could be due to these short clips that they show that they're teaching. Like the teacher has to be talking, and so they only show the clips of the teacher talking, when the actual interesting stuff is more how the kids or students utilizing the language away from the teacher, because that's how we know that they've actually learned something. But yeah, I to touch on your point with regards to the methodology and how he's applying it, I think one of the key points that people miss out on when they try to use new methodologies, be it Suggestopedia or task-based learning or the silent way or whatever, it's that that they're following it either by the letter or taking the parts that they think are like cool from it, without really understanding what is the purpose behind it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. I think that is what we're seeing there. We're seeing a kind of half-hearted understanding of what it's all about. Oh, we play a bit of music, do some actions, and do some drills. Well,
no, I mean, and this is what always got me when I got like new teachers talking to me, like, "Oh, do you have any games that I can play with the kids?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've got lots of games, but if you don't put them in a framework, if you don't deliver them as to practice language or to aid in your class, if the aim of the class is to play the game, then what's the point,
Right.
So yeah, and that's
exactly.
That's what a lot of it seems to be
Yeah.
with new teachers. It's just like flashcard. Here's a game.
Yeah.
That's a plan.
I think you can understand it when someone's very new and it becomes, survival. You just want to get through the class by having enough activities to get you to the end of the day. And that's fair enough when you're kind of learning the ropes. But then, when you start getting a little bit more comfortable and you can fill time if you need to, then, it's time to start actually carrying out some lesson plans, kids.
Yeah.
Getting some achievables in there, some outcomes that are measurable, hopefully, an outcome that you can test in some way.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing that, if you're a teacher who's done like a basic TEFL or a CELTA, you probably had the course tutor harping on about measurable outcomes and stuff, and sort of thought, what's all that about? What do you mean measurable outcome? Well, surely the outcome is that they were speaking because, we played some games. Yeah, okay. That seems to make sense back then, doesn't it? But then you start to realize that there's a bit more to it. We want to be getting people to autonomous communication if possible.
Yeah.
And we want to be able to see that they're learning something from your class and that they're then able to do it. This is why we have this progression from the teacher-led to the student-led activity, so we can see the students become autonomous in the classroom. If the students aren't being autonomous in the classroom, then there's no way that they're going to leave the classroom and then somehow utilize that. Well, there is a way. That's if they're incredibly autonomous individuals who are really independent learners. And let's be honest, these were like 7-year-old kids. So not the case.
Yeah. I mean, it not commenting on their particular case in general, but just the idea that you should just be letting this getting through that imparting of information at the beginning and then trying to make sure that that's solidified, that they understand, and then having getting the students to have as much time for them to autonomously use the language and make mistakes that you can correct is the best way. And one of the things is, for some, it makes it easier for teachers, which is the crazy thing, because if you're always worried about having to, like, be directing the class, and you're the one that's doing the games, or you're the one that's leading the drills, that's so much effort that the teacher's got to be center stage, for like half an hour at a time. It's much easier if you can just spend a bit of time introducing new language and then passing it over for the students to practice, while you kind of just chill, sit back and observe, correct, and and go from there. And it's kind of a bit of a secret in a way, but it really shouldn't be. It's quite obvious.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, there are things that can go wrong, aren't there? It's not quite as easy as just saying, off you go, kids, now you have a go, because your instructions could be botched, your task could be too difficult, your classroom management might be off, and but you're only going to learn the ins and outs of all that by having a go.
Yeah.
And, we've said it before that, occasionally things might kind of semi-bomb. And that's a learning experience, because then you have to consider why they bombed. And a lot of the time, it's to do with either the instructions or the grading of the language being too high, or the level of interest of the students being low, meaning that the topic wasn't particularly interesting. These kind of things. As you do that and you kind of learn which of those things went right or wrong, then you get better at it, to the point where you can get your students being autonomous and using the language without you in an effective and successful way. Whereas at the start of the class, they might not have been able to, as in they've learned something, which is brilliant and what we want, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you have to have a go. You can't just wrap up the class, do a load of controlled practice. Boom, that's me done for the day.
Yeah. Because then you're like,
they'll forget everything.
Yeah. And just give it a go. If you're out there, just give it a go. Let go of the reins, and they're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. It's cool. It happens. It's a learning process. The worst thing that happens is you end up going back to doing more teacher-centric stuff. That's your backup. You just do what you did before. But the upsides are phenomenal. Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, that was Suggestopedia.
Was it? It was it was elements. It was like someone's read the Wikipedia page and tried to do a bit of Suggestopedia.
Yeah.
Just play some music, don't you? That's Suggestopedia. And some drills. Oh well, he had the guts to stick it on YouTube, I guess.
Yeah.
I'd be more than happy to look at some more examples. If anyone out there has an example of them doing Suggestopedia that they consider to be better. Oh my God, look at this. Hey teacher, congrats for that amazing class. I'm studying to become a language teacher, and after I see your video, I found Suggestopedia teaching languages should not only be a class, but also an exciting and unforgettable experience. Was this guy like his mate? Was he getting paid or something? An exciting and unforgettable experience. Wow, legendary class. I don't know what's going on with that. Oh, well. We're here to raise standards, folks.
Yeah, do better. That was harsh. Try.
No.
To do better.
It's not harsh.
Okay, well, I've been Neil of Team Teacher. If you're looking for more of my stuff, have a look at teamteacherchina.com. We've got a whole bunch of PowerPoint materials you could download, use it instantly in your classroom. We have a corresponding YouTube channel, Team Teacher China, and we kind of show you how we use those materials. We've got Team Teacher English, where we take those materials and put them into self-study videos, and Team Teacher Baby, where I take my experience as a teacher and put that into being a parent. And Professor Rich.
Well, you can go to youtube.com/Professor Rich to see some teaching stuff. or you can email us at eltundercovers@gmail.com. Should you wish to contribute to the show, come on the show, propose a guest for the show, send us a link to one of your YouTube videos that we can tear apart. Whatever, get in touch, hook up. You can find us on LinkedIn as well. We're all about making connections and talking about teaching. And we are interested in just educational things in general. So even if it's outside of language teaching, and that's also interesting. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and stay bad.